The Tubbataha Reefs Natural Park is a protected area of the Philippines located in the middle of Sulu Sea. The marine and bird sanctuary consists of two huge atolls and the smaller Jessie Beazley Reef covering a total area of 97,030 hectares. It is located 150 kilometers southeast of Puerto Princesa City, the capital of Palawan province. The uninhabited islands and reefs are part of the island municipality of Cagayancillo, Palawan, located roughly 130 kilometers to the northeast of the reef. In December 1993, the UNESCO declared the Tubbataha Reefs National Park as a World Heritage Site as a unique example of an atoll reef with a very high density of marine species. The North Islet serving as a nesting site for birds and marine turtles. The site is an excellent example of a pristine coral reef with a spectacular 100 m perpendicular wall, extensive lagoons and two coral islands. In 1999, Ramsar listed Tubbataha as one of the Wetlands of International Importance. In 2008, the reef was nominated at the new 7 Wonders of Nature. The national park and the rest of the Philippine archipelago is part of the Coral Triangle, recognized as a center of marine biodiversity containing 75% of the described coral species and 40% of the world's reef fish. The area is under a grave threat due to overfishing and destructive fishing practices. Research of scientists visiting the reef since the 1980s revealed that the Tubbataha Reefs Natural Park contains no less than 600 fish species, 360 coral species, 11 shark species, 13 dolphin and whale species, and 100 bird species. The reefs also serve as a nesting ground for hawksbill and green sea turtles. Geography: the natural park is located near the middle of Sulu Sea, 150 kilometers southeast of Puerto Princesa City, Palawan, covering a total of 97,030 hectares. Tubbataha Reefs The Tubbataha is made up of two coral atolls or reefs called the North and the South, separated by a deep 8-kilometer wide channel. Each atoll has a lagoon in the middle and small sandy islets. North Atoll, the larger of the two, is 16 kilometers long and 5 kilometers wide. The ranger station is located on an islet on the southeast edge of North Atoll. A small islet called North Islet lies in the northern edge of the reef's lagoon. Amos Rocks is located near the southwestern tip of the reef. South Rock is at the southern tip of the atoll on a sandy cay. South Reef is 5 kilometers in length and 3 kilometers in width. Tubbataha Lighthouse is located near the southern tip of South Atoll on a small low islet called South Islet. A rock called Black Rock lies on the northern edge of South Atoll. Jessie Beazley Reef The smaller Jessie Beazley Reef is located about 20 kilometers north of the two atolls. Geology: the Tubbataha Reef is situated on the Cagayan Ridge, composing of extinct underwater volcanoes. Being a true atoll structure, it is believed that the atolls of Tubbataha were formed thousands of years ago as fringing reefs and volcanic islands. This is based on Charles Darwin's theory that atolls are formed when a volcano erupts and afterwards an island is born. When the volcanoes became extinct and the islands subsided over a long time, only the corals remain, growing towards the sunlight. The very big corals seen today surrounding the lagoons are originally the fringing reefs. History. Etymology. The word Tubbataha is a combination of two Sama Bajay words, Tubba and Taha, which together means a long reef exposed at low tide. Historically, Sama Bajay peoples, who have a nomadic lifestyle, visit the reef from time to time. Although people from the islands of Cagayancillo are frequent visitors of the reef, they use the native vessel Bangkok to sail and fish on Gusong, their local name for the Tubbataha. Protection. Tubbataha's isolation, located in the middle of the Sulu Sea far from inhabitants of the nearest populated islands, had preserved its marine resources from overexploitation over the years. The two islets in Tubbataha have no source of fresh water, thus preventing habitation. In the 1980s, fishermen reaching Tubbataha increased in numbers with the advent in motorized bankers, instead of the traditional sailboats. Fish had declined in other fishing grounds because of overfishing, and soon Tubbataha became a fishing destination because of its abundant marine life. Many fishermen used destructive fishing techniques like cyanide and dynamite fishing to maximize their catch. Scuba divers and environmentalists campaigned to make the reefs a national marine park. With the endorsement of the provincial government of Palawan, on August 11, 1988, President Corazon Aquino signed Proclamation No. 306 establishing the two Tubbataha Reefs as a national marine park with an area of 332 square kilometres. This was the first time that the Philippines have declared a marine area as a national park. In the early years of law enforcement by the Presidential Task Force, the rangers were housed in a simple canvas tent. In 1996 a wooden structure was built but shifting sand soon rendered its foundations unstable. At present, the marine park rangers are housed in a styrofoam-reinforced concrete structure on the southeast islet on Tubbataha unregistered trademark S North Atoll. The National Marine Park was enlarged in 2006 to include the Jessie Beazley Reef. President Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo signed Proclamation No. 1126 on August 23, which increased the boundaries of the park by 200% to 970.30 square kilometers. The national park was also reclassified as a natural park. It is guarded by armed rangers 24 hours/7 days a week. In 2013, during the 25th anniversary of the Tubbataha Reefs National Park Declaration, the World Wildlife Fund announced plans to construct a modernized ranger station on a different site to effectively monitor and deal with illegal poaching activities. The said project would cost 50 million Philippine pesos. Recognition equals, it was declared a World Heritage Site by the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization in December 1993 and falls under the protective management of the Department of National Defense of the Philippines. It is under technical supervision by the Palawan Council for Sustainable Development and the Department of Environment and Natural Resources. In 1999, Ramsar listed Tubbataha as one of the wetlands of international importance because of the variety of its marine life species and valuable role as a habitat for various animals. The Tubbataha Reef Natural Park was nominated by New Seven Wonders Foundation in the New Seven Wonders of Nature in 2007 but lost. Management: although the reefs are geographically part of the island municipality of Cagayancillo, Palawan, located roughly 130 kilometers to the northeast of the reef, the park is managed by the Tubbataha Management Office in Puerto Princesa. The islands are uninhabited except for the rotating 10 to 12 park rangers at the ranger station located at the southernmost tip of the North Atoll. The combined team from the Philippine Navy, Philippine Coast Guard, Municipality of Cagayancillo and the TMO. Stationed for 2 months at a time, their job is to protect the park from illegal activities including fishing and collection of other marine life. Ecology: over 1,000 species of marine life inhabit the reef with many considered as endangered. Animal species found include manta rays, lionfish, sea turtles, clownfish, and sharks. Tubbataha has become a popular site for seasoned sport divers because of its coral walls, where the shallow coral reef abruptly ends giving way to great depths. These walls are also habitats for many colonies of fish. Giant trevally, hammerhead sharks, barracudas, manta rays, palm-sized Moorish idols, Napoleon wrasse, parrotfish, and Murray eels live in this sanctuary. There also have been reported sightings of whale sharks and tiger sharks. Tubbataha is even home to the hawksbill sea turtles which are endangered species. Vivid corals cover more than 2/3 of the area and the waters around the reef are places of refuge for numerous marine lives. The seemingly diverse ecosystem of the sanctuary rivals the Great Barrier Reef, having 350 coral species and 500 fish species. In June 2009 an outbreak of the crown-of-thorns starfish was observed, possibly affecting the ecological functioning of this relatively pristine coral reef. Tourism: Tubbataha is considered as one of the best dive sites in the world according to CNN. Travel trips to Tubbataha National Marine Park from Puerto Princesa operates during the diving season from mid-March to mid-June, the period where the waves are calmest, sky is clear and water visibility of about 30 to 45 meters. The park is about 10 hours by boat from the city. All trips are vessel-based or liveaboard as there are no accommodation facilities. Visitors stay on the yacht boat throughout their stay in the park. During the diving season, ships dedicated for diving are usually booked years in advance, especially during Easter and the Asian holidays called Golden Week. As of March 2011, the park entrance fee for individuals is pegged at USD $75 or 3,000 Philippine pesos. In September 2010, Palawan Governor Abraham Khalil Mitra announced that local residents of Palawan province can enter the Tubbataha Reef without paying the conservation fee. It is advised that divers book their trips towards the middle or end of April, as calm seas from April to June has a short window. Although the sandbars around Tubbataha are considered off-limits to human beings, tourists are allowed to set foot at the ranger station where they can purchase souvenirs and tour the facility. A plus or minus 1,000 bill, the park is featured on the reverse side of the 2010 series of the Philippine 1,000 peso bill. Ship grounding incidents. Rainbow Warrior On October 31, 2005, the Greenpeace ship Rainbow Warrior ran aground on Tubbataha Reef, damaging approximately 100 square meters of reef, for which they paid a fine of about $7,000. Greenpeace blamed the accident on inaccurate charts provided by the Philippine government. The BBC quoted Greenpeace official Red Constantino as saying the chart indicated we were 1.5 miles from the coral reef when the ship ran aground. Greenpeace paid the fine anyhow. USS Guardian On January 17, 2013, the U.S. Navy minesweeper USS Guardian ran aground at Tubbataha Reef. The U.S. government initially blamed the grounding on faulty maps. Between 2011 and January 2013, before the grounding of the USS Guardian, there were 11 incidents involving ships, including 2 Philippine ships. The U.S. Navy concluded that towing the ship off the reef would cause more damage and decided to dismantle the ship in place. On March 30, the last section of the ship was removed from the reef. No evidence of fuel leakage from the grounded vessel were found. On April 8, 2013, the U.S. Navy turned over digital navigation charts and other relevant documents and data of the Guardian to the Philippine Maritime Casualty Investigating Team and responded to various technical and substantive queries. The MCIT conducted its own independent investigation and made recommendations on how to avoid such incidents in the future. The U.S. government apologized for the incident and relieved 5 officers from duty. The initial investigation clearly indicated that these officers did not adhere to standard U.S. Navy navigation procedures. The Worldwide Fund for Nigeria Philippines and the Tubbataha Management Office measured the damage area at 2,345.67 square meters. The U.S. federal government was assessed a fine of 24,000 Philippine pesos per square meter. On January 20, 2015, the United States government paid to the Philippine government a total of 87 million Philippine pesos, or $1.97 million a €59 million Philippine pesos for the damage, and another 29 million pesos to reimburse for services provided by the Philippine Coast Guard. FV Minlongyou On April 8, 2013, the FV Minlongyou, a Chinese fishing vessel, ran aground some 1.1 nautical miles east of the Tubbataha Reef Ranger Station. The fishing vessel had 12 crew members and was suspected of illegal fishing. On board, what was found instead were 400 boxes of frozen scaly anteaters, sources unknown at the time of arrest. See also, List of World Heritage Sites in the Philippines, List of Protected Areas of the Philippines, ASEAN Heritage Parks, National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. References. External links: Tubbataha Reef Marine Park, UNESCO World Heritage Center, Tubbataha Reefs National Marine Park, the official Tubbataha Reefs National Marine Park website, Palawan Council for Sustainable Development, Sulu Sea. Encyclopedia of Earth. eds. P. Sondry and C. J. Cleveland. Washington, D.C. by C. Michael Hogan. 2011.